So here recently, you guys, our president has turned the COVID-19 website into a crime database for Dr. Anthony Fauci, aka Dr. Loveless. You know, the same doctor that was supposedly following the science, but was in fact funding gain of function. That doctor. The one that received the preemptive pardon from the previous senile president, and who's also on videotape before Trump's first term, stating that there would indeed be an outbreak of infectious diseases during the next administration, which so happened to be Trump's first term. Okay? It was almost as if they knew something was going to happen, like it was pre-planned or premeditated. Hence the reason why a lot of people refer to it as the plandemic. So you had this virus that had a 99% survival rate. It really only affected people with pre-existing conditions like heart disease or, you know, something like that, or cancer, or elderly people. But for the most part, it had a 99% survival rate, and they shut down a whole economy off of this virus. Told us we had to stand 6 feet apart, had us wearing masks, couldn't go to graduations, couldn't go visit people in our in nursing homes or our loved ones in the hospital, couldn't attend weddings, or had to have a limited amount of people that could attend weddings, limited amount that could come to church. I mean, couldn't even go, recommended that you didn't go visit your family around the holidays. Although you had politicians out going to the salons that they closed and we couldn't go to. You had Gavin Newsom out with his family, big old circle of people sitting close together eating dinner, but they told us not to do it. Okay, yeah, even Dr. Fauci was seen at a baseball game. And remember how sports arenas were practically empty around that time? Yeah, they did all this, you guys. Had this stuff in the news day in and day out. This many more cases, this many more deaths, showing images of people laying up in the hospital bed, connected to ventilators, okay? A disease that was not even humanly transmissible came from China, from a bat found in China, okay? And they spiked it with a protein to make it humanly transmissible. That's what Dr. Fauci was funding. And that's what caused this virus. I remember when Trump tried to do a travel ban in January of 2020 from China, because they found out that it came from China. But then you had your news media, the anti-Trump media, saying that he was a xenophobe and a racist, or whatever else they said. And so he lifted the ban, and 2 months later we had the lockdown. First time in my lifetime that I experienced a lockdown, okay? And a lot of small businesses went out of business because of this. But did they care? No. Okay. You had doctors and nurses that had been practicing for years saying that they knew what medications would effectively help with the disease, but they were told that they could not prescribe those medications. Okay. They couldn't practice what was in the best interest of their patients, which is what they took the oath to do, because the government had gotten involved. And a lot of those medications just so happened to be in short supply during that time. Yeah, they did a lot against, you know, they did a lot, you guys. This is indeed a crime against humanity. Then when you had the next administration that came in, he mandated a vaccine, talking about it was no longer a pandemic of the vaccinated, but a pandemic of the unvaccinated, and told us that if we didn't get it, that we could not work. They did a lot, you guys. I just hope that there will be some form of accountability for all of this stuff that they did, because that right there, they made a lot of money off of that stuff. Fauci was one of the #1 or the highest paid, reportedly, bureaucrat. Okay? So there needs to be some form of accountability for these crimes against humanity.